K, away from keyboard. First and only question equals, Jaimie, sir, do you think a real man and a real woman make a team together? They never give up on each other. Well, I think that would be great. I think that, well, I don't know. That involves there's a lot of ifs there. But if people are taking care of themselves, yeah, you shouldn't give up on each other. Like taking care of their business, doing the right stuff, which could be implied by saying a real man and real woman. Anyway, okay, I think we're starting. It's 11 o'clock, right?
11:02.
11:02, I'm late. Do I have to sit in the corner? I have to move this a little because the window right there is so bright. Ooh, look, I got some muscles. I'm getting some more muscles. All right. Okay. So what are we talking about this week? Oh, I'm wearing my fancy shirt again. I know I wore it last week. I try not to always wear the same things twice in a row. No, I don't care. But I was like, ooh, I should wear that shirt again because all my shirts get destroyed kind of quickly. But this one's not wrecked yet, so very nice, very nice. All right, so I've been wanting to make a kayak for a while.
Volume down.
What?
Volume down.
Dashaina's telling me to turn my volume down. I'm talking too loud. Apparently, I don't have to talk like people in other parts of the world can hear me. I only have to talk so like, not even that can hear me. I only have to talk so this can hear me. Okay, so from now on, I'm just gonna talk like this, huh? Dashaina's laughing at me like I'm an idiot. But, okay, moving on. So I've had this, I've wanted to build a nice kayak for a while. Just a single person kayak, maybe some double person ones too, but whatever. And a few years ago, I made 2 kayaks, but I just made them out of like a mold that was like the roof of a part of a boat, and it made some pretty decent kayaks, but not like real slick ones. But then recently I was thinking, maybe it'll be worth it to make like a real slick kayak mold. And it might not be worth it to just make one for myself, but if I have a mold, I can make a few and sell them, and then it'll be worth making a mold, because it always takes extra work to make the mold, and then it's easier to make the actual things. So then I was thinking, all right, how do I make like a good kayak? I don't want to just like slap something together where I do a crappy job, right? And I was thinking, man, online, occasionally in the past, I've looked up, how people make kayaks, and they've always got these complicated plans. It'll be like, here's this big sheet of like curved pieces you cut out of plywood, and I'm always like, well, you probably can't just like draw that freehand. It's not going to come out right. Balsa wood. No balsa wood, but we'll get there. But I'm thinking, you can't just make it up, right? I'm gonna need some plans, or at least maybe like look up on the internet, kayak plans, and just find an image that's not gonna have all the details or anything, but just get something and then just put my own measurements on it and kind of rough it out and get a basic idea. And then I was like, wait a minute. Why can't I just do it myself? Who told me I can't do it myself? So many things I just do myself and they come out great. So I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. And I actually ended up having, this was like yesterday morning. I woke up having a dream about this. I was like, I should make a kayak model so that I could reproduce with plywood. So yesterday morning I made this. Oh, look how nice it looks. Oh, look at that. Oh, didn't that come out great? Oh, it's just what I wanted. Oh, I'm just gonna turn it around slow so you can see. Oh, doesn't that look nice? Oh, God, look at, well, this is a little bit crooked, but in a full-size one, it'll be easier to not have my cardboard being crooked. Oh, so nice, but like exactly what I was like going for. And it was easy to figure out what length I wanted and width and how I wanted the shapes to be and everything. And I could adjust it easily to make it, thinner or wider or longer or more aerodynamic, more buoyant, whatever. And what I did was I just started cutting out pieces of cardboard and just keeping in mind that anything I do to this cardboard, I want to make sure it's something that I could do to a piece of plywood at, I don't know, something like 10 times the scale or more. No, like about 10 times the scale. Yeah, this would be like, no, 12 times the scale, that's right. Because I was thinking this would be 16 feet long, and I made this 16 inches long. So yeah, 12 times scale. So I just started, first I cut out the bottom piece of thing here, and it's just a rectangle. It doesn't look like a rectangle because it squishes up in the front here, but that's because it's folded up, whoosh, and whoosh, so it's just pinched closed at the front, right? But it's just a rectangle at the bottom. So I made that piece, and I was like, okay, that was pretty easy because it's just a rectangle. And then, you know, once I got it together, I snipped the end off at an angle because it was originally like this. And then this is where I was like, okay, these angles or these curves, where do you get these magical curves? Like right here. How do I get this curve, right? That's not just a simple curve. It's like kind of a really exact curve. And I realized all I do is take this bottom piece, lay it down on my piece of cardboard, hold my piece of cardboard up a little bit, make sure it's at the angle I want, like I want this sticking out a little bit, just hold it there and trace it, just draw the line. And so that's how I got this line down here, right? And then this line up here is just whatever I want, right? I can draw any line. I made it almost straight, but just curved up a little. And then for this top piece, I did the same thing where I laid it down at the angle I wanted, just like that, whoosh, and drew the line exactly where I wanted to cut it out. And super simple, super easy. And all this stuff is stuff I could easily reproduce with some plywood. And I figured out 3 sheets of plywood will make a full-sized kayak model that I could then sand the crap out of, you know, get everything real slick and perfect and nice, and then, you know, wax it to death, and then put fiberglass along the bottom, and then take that off and flip it over and put fiberglass on the top, and, you know, do a little bit of stuff so it would, you know, the top and the bottom piece would mesh well together. Well, maybe I should talk about that. So the way I would do it is I would just put fiberglass all along everything up to this edge here, right? And then probably trim it off nice there. And that would be the bottom mold. And then for the top mold, I would take my original kayak and put a strip of wood around here that's roughly the thickness that the bottom piece of kayak is going to be. So that the top piece, when I put fiberglass over this and it overlaps, it'll actually be slightly wider, and the top piece will fit over the bottom piece, you know, like a lid. So then I would just put the fiberglass all over this piece, you know, up to this edge, and then that would be the mold for the top piece. And then it would just be a two-piece kayak. You put the fiberglass in the bottom mold, fiberglass in the top mold after waxing it really well. And then you take the 2 pieces, stick them together, put a bit of silicone or whatever glue, put some rivets in, and it's done, right? And then I had to go back and think, why did I think that was going to be so hard? Why did I think I can't do that? Because it was a piece of cake. It totally made sense. As soon as I started, it was easy. And then I remembered when I was a kid, and you see kids like this all the time. When you talk to kids and you know, you bring up something that could be done, kids are always like, oh, I can do it. But then as people get older, they start being like, oh, you know, you can't actually do that. No one can just do that. People can't just do things. Oh, you're such a child. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't just do things, but you can. And I remember this one time, many years ago. It was after the dinosaurs, but still many years ago when I went to school. So, wow, get out of here. Yeah. Okay. So many years ago when I was in school, I think it was like grade 7. I was in this class. I think it was actually geography class, but the class didn't matter. It was at the beginning of class. Our teacher came out and he was this like kind of cocky, cool guy. What's up? He gave us all this test. So we're all sitting at our desks. There's like 30 people in this class-ish, something like that. We're all sitting there. He gives everyone one sheet of paper. It's face down. And he says, all all right, everyone, this is just a test. Don't worry, this isn't part of your grade, so don't get all stressed out about it. Just, you know, when I say go, flip over your test and do it, and you'll have 20 minutes to do it, which is more than enough. You should be able to do it in like 10 minutes. So don't worry, don't stress or anything. Okay, everybody go. So I flip over this piece of paper, and it's got like 30 questions-ish, something like that, 20 or 30 questions. And the first one says, before starting to answer any of these questions, read every single question down to the end. And after you've read all the questions, then come to the top and actually answer them. So I read a couple of them and I'm like, this is a waste of time. This is stupid. So I just start answering the questions. And then I get to the bottom question, and the bottom question says, if you've actually read this before writing on this paper, that's great. Now, what you do is pretend that you're answering the questions, but do not touch this paper with your pencil or make any marks on this paper whatsoever. Don't actually answer any questions. So, 20 minutes later, everyone's done. And the teacher says, okay, how many people did it? And like 3 people raise their hands. They're like, here's my paper, totally blank. And like the whole rest of the class is like, yeah, I answered all these questions and got to the end and realized I wasn't actually supposed to. And it was like a big gotcha. See, you should be answering, or you should be doing what you're told, following the instructions, doing what you're told, not doing what you think. And everyone in the class was like, oh, you got us. Oh, we're so dumb and you're so smart. However, after the class, I was thinking, wait a minute. This is not a real life situation. This is some artificial crap that this guy made up to trap us. Like, he made up the situation and just, it doesn't teach us anything useful. All it teaches us is that we need to do whatever he says. It teaches us to obey, not to do what makes sense. Because in almost every situation, if you have something like that, it makes sense to just start answering the darn questions, not like waste your time reading the whole thing. So then I realized, like so much of what we learn in school is just about doing what you're told. Don't think for yourself. Don't try to figure anything. No, do what you're told. Read the book. Answer like the book says. Do what you're told. Do what you're told. Obey, obey, obey. And, this is because the man wants people to obey. So it's easy to control people. It's easy to tell you what to do and stuff people into these little boxes. And then, the people in charge can say, all right, we've got, 64,000 factory workers here. We know what they'll do. We've got, 20,000 office workers. We've got like 16,000 manual laborers. We've got 127,000 computer programmers, and they can just define what everyone's supposed to do, and it looks good in their books, and it's easy to figure out what's going on and control everyone, and blah blah blah. But it destroys people's imagination and ability to take care of themselves, which basically turns us all into slaves, right? Like when you do things for yourself and you think for yourself and you take the initiative to actually do things that you think are right as opposed to what you're told, then you're a free person. But when you just go around doing what you're told, you're not a free person, you're just a slave. Which brings me to the aliens. So there are obviously some aliens floating around in outer space, or whatever they do. I don't know what they do. And they see Earth and they're like, I see what's going on here. But they have a general understanding, all the different kinds of aliens, that, you don't mess with a planet that's kind of like underdeveloped. You just got to leave them and let them sit there and see if they get through their early development stages to the point where they're like a viable, intergalactic species, or if they're just gonna, stagnate, or if they're just gonna blow themselves up. So the aliens are watching us, and they've been watching us for a while. I mean, I don't think we're important enough for them to sit there watching us, but check in every once in a while, and they've seen civilizations come and go. And what happens? You get doers, makers, and let's set up a definition here where there are 2 kinds of people. You got makers and you got takers. And the makers are the ones who create a civilization. Like they're the ones who start everything. And then so makers maybe start a city or start some kind of industry or they create civilization. And that's great. The problem is once the makers have created the civilization, there's all this access to resources. There's more stuff than they. There's so much access to stuff. Life is really good when you just have a lot of makers doing things and like actually thinking and making things, which attracts the takers. So then the takers come in and they're like, ooh, look at all this stuff. Oh, mine. And basically what happens is you get more and more takers and more takers, and eventually the takers take over. And this is where you've got, all these politicians who just lie and cheat, and everyone, at this point it's gotten so bad, people just presume that all politicians lie because why wouldn't they? No, but we shouldn't be thinking that. That's because we're in like the very, very bad stage of our downfall, I guess. Anyway, so the aliens see these civilizations being created by all these makers, and then over and over they slowly get overtaken by the takers, by greed, and it ruins everything. And civilizations come and fall apart over and over. And I guess what probably happens on a lot of planets with a lot of civilizations is that they get to a point where they actually fail in a way that kills themselves and destroys everything, because makers have created and not like sufficient technology and sufficient stuff and have loosened up sufficient resources that when things go bad, it could actually destroy the entire planet or all the people or whatever. So the aliens are just watching us to see what happens. Now, where are we right now? Unfortunately, I think we're seriously on a downfall, because we've had, let's take North America, for example. And you could take North America, Europe, Australia, probably most parts of the world, this will apply. But, I grew up in North America, so I know a fair amount about that. So at some point, and let's ignore the annihilation of all the Native Americans and everything. We're just gonna have to go past that, which was a terrible thing, which is part of the problem of how the takers started sneaking in there. But anyway, makers have made a lot of things in North America, made all these industries and inventions and created a lot of stuff. And, made food, and just a lot of things. And then takers have come along and been like, ooh, look how good this is going. I think I can take some. And what we've had is more and more takers over time. And now it's at the point where there's so many people taking and so few people making, so few people doing and so many people taking that there's shortages of things, like a lot of shortages that shouldn't be there, that don't make any sense. And these happen for two reasons. One, the takers are just using everything up, and it's not even hidden. Like, people are referred to as consumers. Like, literally, they just consume resources. You just use them up. That's the takers. So the takers just consume resources, and they also don't come up with any solutions to anything. They don't come up with new ideas or ways to deal with things. That's the makers. So the makers figure out all this stuff. So the makers see that oil's getting low. We're running out of oil. We're not out of oil yet. There's still tons of it, but, we're running out. So the makers are like, well, we should do something else. Meanwhile, the takers are like, oh, let me give you a quick story about this one taker. I don't know if I've told you this one before, but this guy, this engineer, he was like a grad student in engineering, came to visit here one time. I totally told this story. I remember. So anyway, I was talking about how we're running out of oil, and he was like, "No, we're never going to run out of oil." And I was like, "What do you mean? I mean, it's a finite thing. It's, you know, we're using it way faster than it's made. It'll eventually run out." He's like, "Nah, we didn't leave the Stone Age because we ran out of rocks, so we're not going to leave the oil age because we run out of oil." And he's comparing like a rock to a consumable, and the rock doesn't get used up, and the consumable does, and it just doesn't make any sense. But he had a taker's mentality, which is just whatever I have to say to take stuff, that's what I'm going to say. Coming up with solutions or solving things or anything like that, no, that doesn't make any sense. I just want mine. Give me mine. So makers are becoming more and more scarce, largely because of this schooling situation we've got. And like when I think about all the years I spent in school, so much of it was focused on, don't think about, you know, what you could do. Don't use any imagination. Just follow the instructions. Do what you're told. Do what you're supposed to do. Here's a list of jobs. Here's the list of jobs that you can do. Don't do anything outside that. Here's the amount of money. So you want the one that makes the most money. And of course, money is the thing that is the tool that is used to fuel all of our enslavement. That's not the only thing that money does. Money also makes it much easier to make transactions and things. Great. But it's also like the main tool used for our enslavement. Because you need money, because the government's throwing you in jail once you run out. You know, you run out of money, you can't pay your land tax or your rent or whatever. You can't buy food, you're done. You gotta have money, which means you have to keep doing stuff to get money. And what you're told all the time is, here, if you want the money, here's the list of slave jobs you can take. You can take one of these slave jobs, pick whichever one you want, because you have so much freedom. You have all this freedom to choose whichever slave job you want. Go ahead. And although I do think that more and more with you know, the internet and open communications and things like that, people are starting to get more and more ideas about, you know what, I don't have to do those jobs. I can be an entrepreneur and make something up. I don't have to keep my inventions as just a hobby. I don't just have to make models and, you know, toys and playthings. That can actually be useful, valuable things that can collect me money and keep me out of jail and whatever. So it's kind of a weird situation right now where we've got just a massive amount of takers who are like running the show. But there's also this undercurrent, this like alternative, like underground of makers and doers. And I suspect this probably happens like every time a civilization comes and then goes. Like on the way out, like when Rome was slowly crumbling, I imagine there was probably like Masons and stuff. Is that where the Freemasons came from? Some situation like this? Anyway, like people who are actually makers and doers start being like, oh, we got to kind of back up and kind of hide a little bit and kind of protect our own little maker civilization, maker organization, and make sure that survives while everything else crumbles. And then those makers are what start the next civilization. And this just keeps going up and down and up and down. So over and over, we're doing these trying things, and then it fails, trying it again and trying it again. And the aliens are watching, and they're like, come on guys, get it. You're gonna get it eventually. So how do we actually get it? I think what has to happen is we just need everyone to be makers. Like even people who aren't good at it, we just need everyone to become makers and doers, and just get rid of the whole culture of taking and greed and, you know, sitting around just gobbling up resources. We got to get rid of the consumer, what's it called, culture, all that consumer culture stuff. And what exactly that all means, I mean, I could go on about that for the next hour and a half probably, but yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to make that happen, but I don't know if that's anytime soon. Maybe on the next up we'll get it right. And as things are going up and getting better, maybe the makers will just say, "Hey, takers, no." I think that's all I've got to say about that right now. What do you have to say about that? Did you listen to anything I just said, Dashaina Gibbs? She's rolling her eyes at me right now. You just said, "Geez, how much can you talk?" Oh. Come on, that was tidbits of genius right there.
That was, yeah.
Or something. Anyway, what are you doing?
I was doing laundry.
You were doing laundry today?
And setting up lunch so that what happens typically isn't what happens.
You mean we do this until 1 a.m. and then it's like, okay, now we need to go have lunch, and then it's like an hour and a half later we have lunch because it's like, I don't know what to. So what are we having for lunch?
Beans and rice and bread.
Oh, so wow, cool. Beans and rice and bread.
But it's rising.
Oh, I have to feed my sourdough today. I didn't do it this morning because I was running out. But anyway.
I'm gonna sit back here because I need you to be able to lean against me.
No, this is. I know. Usually you like to sit up ahead of me so you look bigger. But
I don't like looking bigger. I'm fine.
No, you like to look like you're the big person taking care of everything. You have much better lighting than me right now, though.
It's true.
All right. So what's going on today? What are the people saying? Oh. Someone must have said something.
Well, you answered the first question.
Or did everyone leave?
No, I think there's people still there. They're watching. That's what that number is. Are they all
AFKs though?
No, I don't know.
Do you know what AFK is?
Away from keyboard.
Away from keyboard.
I didn't know that until you said it earlier. Just like I also.
Boy, that is an excellent shirt. Oh, these are available now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I even made a commercial. Yeah. So Dashaina has been making commercials on my channel which is fine. I said it was totally fine, for like mugs and stuff like that. And then the other day I was like, this is on my channel. I'm gonna make a commercial. So I made a commercial for my own shirts. It's amazing, right?
Is, yeah.
Amazingly spectacular. So you'll have to upload that just do it right now.
We get off this because you're on the thing that the video is.
So you gotta upload it through here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're talking quietly to try to get me to talk quietly.
Oh well, no, I talk quietly in general.
All right. I'm just gonna go to sleep now.
Okay.
But did you see how good my kayak came out? Do you think people will want those? Because people around here are always asking about kayaks, and they're like, they cost like, of course, it'll be bigger than this.
I was gonna say, I think maybe a fashion doll will fit in that.
Yeah. Okay. But I think if I make a mold and make a few of those, I can sell some, and that'll, make it worth making the mold and stuff.
So you already answered the first question.
What was the first question?
Douglas McGreevy about.
Is Tomaters here this week?
I haven't seen him yet. No.
Oh, did Tomaters die?
Don't say that.
Hey, Joe Blowmeister, where's Tomaters?
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
Joe Blowmeister's got to be here.
He is. I already saw him. All right,
that guy's name you just said, I remember him too. What did he say?
So.
Thomas McGreevy?
To know a real man and a real woman make a team together. They never give up on each other.
That's a hard question because at some point you have to the question, it's like a real man and a real woman. Like, does that mean they won't? Like, if I'm a real man, that means I'm not going to drag someone else down. Right? But I know the term real man and real woman, that's kind of ambiguous. Yeah. But like, if I'm a good person, I'm not going to drag someone else down. But if you're in a relationship with someone who's dragging you down, you can try to pull them back and help them for a while, but at some point you just have to let go and not get sucked into the toilet or the black hole with them. But if they're a good person, they won't do that to you. So I think it's good to go into things with operating under the presumption that you won't give up on the person. Right. And like the idea of giving up on someone who's important to you, like an important part of your life, only comes when it gets pretty extreme and it's like, whoa, I'm being destroyed by this. I need to let it go. Right. Yeah.
TK Griffin would like to know, have you ever seen John Carpenter's movie, They Live?
I love They Live. I actually have it on my computer. And I've watched it with my kids. I've slightly edited it. Edited it. Because I slightly edited it And now I have 2 They Lives on my computer. It's like one of my favorite movies. And I have They Live and I have They Live for Kids, which only involves removing one scene, which is like at the end. It's like almost like a credits. Totally not important. It's just this. Do you want to know what the scene is?
Sure.
So the whole movie goes by. The movie ends. I'm not going to say what happens or anything, but the movie, like the story ends. It's definitely over. And then there's just this gratuitous sex scene with some ladies' boobies out. And I don't care about my kids seeing ladies' boobies out, but the gratuitous sex scene, I was just like, I just edited that out.
That was nice.
So I took out like, I don't know, 5 seconds of the movie, and then my kids can watch it. And I like watching movies like that. Oh, for anyone who doesn't know, They Live is this movie that was made, I don't know, I saw it when I was a kid. And it came out, and it was like the #1 movie the first week it came out, and then it just disappeared. And I'm pretty sure that was politically motivated. I don't think people suddenly didn't like it. I think someone was like, we don't like the messages in this movie, you need to get rid of it. But the basic premise of the movie is that there's this guy, and
This guy.
yeah, it's like the one wasp.
20 minutes.
So there's a guy, and he's kind of down on his luck. He's having a hard time, and he comes across this group of people who are fighting against this upper class elite who's controlling the world. And this upper class elite turn out to be aliens. And if you wear special sunglasses, you can see the aliens, and you can see their subliminal messages all over the place. So, I mean, then that all happens at the beginning of the movie, and then it goes on from there. But, the message is basically like we're being controlled by, this shiesty group of people who aren't literally aliens. Like, it's very metaphorical. Like, it's pretty obvious who they're talking about, which is probably why those people didn't like it. But anyway, I like watching movies like this with messages. Because then my kids always ask me, well, one of my kids in particular, anytime we watch a movie, she's just like got question after question after question. I always answer all her questions, and it brings up all these. You don't like the questions so much because you're like, 20 questions in a row, stop it. Well, no, but I really like it.
I don't care. I just,
yeah.
I
really like it because it brings up all these discussions about, what's going on in the world, what's wrong with the world, what's right with the world, and, what it. It's a really good way to teach kids. So I always watch movies with my kids, like whenever they're watching a movie. I mean, occasionally they'll watch something. Occasionally they'll watch something without me. But like usually, if my kids are watching a movie, I watch it with them, and they'll ask me questions either during the movie or at the end of the movie. Definitely at the end of the movie, about all kinds of political things, and it's like. It's almost like having like just a social studies class, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Was that a long-winded enough?
Yeah, it was totally
answer?
Long-winded enough. You could, keep going.
My monologue today was 25 minutes.
Long.
My one last week was 25 minutes too.
Yeah.
It's funny because this week I didn't even know what I was going to talk about until like 5 minutes before I started.
That happened last week too, I'm pretty sure.
No, last week I kind of had an idea, but I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about that because I was like, I don't know if this is going to come out stupid.
Right.
But then I think it actually came out all right.
All right. Omnicizo would like to know how to deal with after holiday dip. I had a great time traveling to France, no planning, just exploring nature and being free to do so. I really struggle to motivate myself for regular life.
Get out of regular life.
That was pretty much what everybody else said too.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that makes me think, and this, I'm going on very limited information here, but what this says to me, just based on the limited information, is that you're not happy with your life. Like you want to do something else. So you're getting out of your life, and your like soul, your spirit is saying, oh, something different. Oh, thank God. And then you go back to your life, and your spirit is just like, no, don't make me go back. I think it's just telling you, you got to change your life to something where you're happy. And I can think of a lot of times in my life where I was not happy with things, But like right now, there is nowhere else I'd want to be other than my island, which I'm at your island right now. But this is good too. It's within range. But like I don't want to go like further than 20 miles from my house right now because I love it here. I love the area. I love what I'm doing. I'm very happy with the general thing. And for most of my life, I definitely could not say that. And I would feel like that, if I left and came back to my life, it would just be like, oh God, I gotta go back to work and do the normal stuff I hate. And but yeah, like once I got my life kind of the way I want, I never get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that to sound like everything is perfect. Everything is definitely not perfect. Like I could come up with a list of things that could be better, but like it's good. It's really good.
So this seems to come up in most of our
Starlink?
conversations. No, today it's, what do you think of Elon Musk?
Didn't I answer this like 2 weeks ago? I was like, I remember saying to you, should I just answer the Elon Musk question? And then I went on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was going to compare myself to Elon Musk, I would say that he is someone who thinks we're basically in an okay position and we just need to progress from here. But I think we need to go backwards because we've screwed up too many times.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
And that's the basic. I mean, anything else I could say about him, like that's the basic gist. Like that's the underlying thing of everything that I could say about him.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, of course, a possibility that he also thinks the same thing that I'm thinking, that we need to take a bunch of steps back. But right now he's like, well, let me squeeze as much as I can out of this disaster because then I'll be in a better position for when everything collapses to do whatever. But the way I'm thinking about it is like, okay, I kind of want to shed as much of the garbage that's around me as possible and like rewind back to a kind of simpler lifestyle. Maybe I shouldn't say simpler, but sort of, yeah, going back to like a simpler lifestyle. Yeah, that is totally what I should say. Go back to a really simple lifestyle and then slowly build it up with all the right principles intact, So that's how I would say we're different. And I think he's doing some awesome stuff. I also think he's doing some horrible stuff. Like the self-driving cars. We do not need people having more nothing going on. Like we don't need people having less responsibility. We need people to have more responsibility. We don't need people to just get in their car and say, car, go here, and then it just takes them there. And we need people to be more involved in their lives. But like I said, maybe he also thinks the world is just falling apart and doesn't care, and he's just like, well, let's just like shuffle these sheep around and squeeze as much as we can out of them, and then we'll rebuild or something. But I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I do think that he and I could have some interesting conversations about all that stuff because we do have a lot of very similar moral stances with some glaring differences that might be interesting to talk about. Not that I'm ever going to have a conversation with Elon Musk. I'm not going to California, and I don't think he's coming to. Well, he does go to Panama, but I don't think he's coming to my house. So.
Yeah.
And I'm not leaving.
Have you ever thought of using airforms to build domes?
You mean like a blow-up thing?
I'm guessing here. It just says exactly what I said.
I'm guessing it's like a blow-up thing.
Yeah, it just says airforms.
Yeah, I've thought about it. If it's like a blow-up thing, I've thought about it. Okay. Yeah.
This brings me to a thing related to that, where you apparently spoke about in your recent video something about pre-concreted fabric.
Oh yeah.
There is stuff available apparently.
What is it?
They used to use it as field hospitals, like back. I don't know if it was during Vietnam.
The thing I actually thought about was casts, because plaster burlap stuff they use for casts. Is it basically like that, but concrete?
So like apparently they would have the tent already made, and the concrete it's between two like quilted layers, and they
blow that up,
and they take the exhaust of the truck fill up the tent.
That's
And I
funny.
think the guy was one
Could
of
you
your
imagine someone going in there right away? Like that would be the perfect Darwin test.
well, you know the
Fill it up
guy.
with your truck and then see if anyone goes in. And if anyone goes in, well,
Well,
we didn't need those genes.
you know the guy John Paul that you have an email going on with. He has the big metal shop.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, okay, yes.
Anyway, he's the one. Apparently, he had found a field manual that he had, like I guess, in his storage,
Yeah.
and then he was talking about like there's all these like you had to wait a certain amount of time before you went in, you know,
Obviously.
and then he thinks they stopped making them because there was like something with the asbestos or whatever, like in the
Yeah.
whatever. But basically, what you do is you put the tent.
I have seen a video of
You
this.
blow it up, and then you wet it for 24
Yeah.
like for every so often, and then in 24 hours it's ready to go.
Yeah. See, I want to know what that cloth is, and can I get it like pretty thin and strong? Like
So they also
basically
make it for roads was the next thing that like furthers onto it that I guess they currently use.
Yeah.
Another one of your
well, I want
subscribers mentioned that they use it for when they're putting out roads.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Part of that too. So
anyway, well, I want to know if I can. Yeah,
exactly.
we should look into that a little bit. Maybe I'll do that after we get off this, because it would be cool to be able to get like meter squares that are rolled up that I can lay down and just roll out and dump water on, and they're like, whoosh, we're invincible and indestructible. Yeah.
So there was that.
I didn't know about the roads. I didn't know about the blow up concrete building thing. So
yeah, the field hospitals.
Yeah.
Somebody, let's see, Court McGuire would like to know how often do you eat fresh caught fish?
Oh, back to the air stuff.
Yeah, aircrete.
One of the reasons I don't do that is because well, people always ask like just use an air foam and then spray it with.
Well, don't you have to design the foam?
It doesn't matter, and then you just spray it with concrete. Spraying with concrete still requires you to get all the material to the site, and that's the biggest.
Yeah.
What's it? The biggest, the hardest, the most labor-intensive thing is just getting the concrete to the site.
Right. And then don't you have to mix up enough?
Yeah, I mean all that is like yeah.
So you have to
like actually putting it in place is not that big a deal.
Hey, Aurora.
But like to do an airform thing, you basically have to do it all at once. So you gotta get all that stuff there at the same time. You have to have enough water on site to do it all. You know, it's just a big sudden operation. But there's like a huge setup in that. And most of the stuff I'm doing is like small setup. Just because I don't have, I can't order a truck of stuff.
Because so there was this other stuff like called ferro cement.
Yeah.
And basically that requires that. Like you have to be able to spray it.
Nah, you can smear it on. But the reason I don't like ferro cement, you know what ferrous is, right?
Iron. You were going to talk about
iron, steel.
Oh, okay.
So it's just going to rust.
Yeah.
And I don't. So wait, anyway, what was the next question? Sorry.
Oh, okay. So how often do you eat fresh caught fish? And this actually brings me to...
I put the trap by the boat. I put the trap in a spot where there are... I've seen a bunch of fish. We need to go check the trap today. What?
So what I was going to say is that it's really difficult for me to put the trap back down in the correct direction, let alone be able to see it. So I'm not sure how to.
Anyway,
I tried to check it the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you pull it up?
I did, but
was there anything in it
so far? It didn't look like it.
Okay.
And I think I put it back down correctly.
All right.
So.
Well, I'm gonna go check it. I should have checked it this morning. I was cleaning the bottom of my boat and I just didn't even think about it.
Right.
But I don't know, like once a week or something, fresh fish. I don't know, it depends. Like it comes and goes. Like sometimes it'll be a few times a week. Probably, I don't know, once I get more stuff finished and I can kind of focus on that more, I'll do more fishing. Although I could just drag a line every time I'm going anywhere, which I was doing for a while. The reason I stopped doing that is because the fishing hooks rust.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And when I'm just
terrible.
When I'm just like, which isn't too bad if you're going out for hours and then catching fish, and you can do that a few times before your hook rusts. But if like every time I drive like between my house and your house, I take it, drag it in the water, and chances are between here and there I'm not going to catch anything, but once in a while I would.
Right.
But that means putting the hook in the salt water so often that it ends up rusting away, like sometimes before I've caught a fish. So I kind of stopped doing it because of that.
Right.
But maybe I can get better fishing hooks. Maybe the fishing hooks I got in town here are not very good. Maybe they're 304. Maybe I can get some 316 stainless steel fishing hooks or some titanium ones.
Oh yeah, or stainless steel.
That's 316 stainless steel.
No, it's just.
Maybe I'll just make some fishing hooks out of something that doesn't rust. Oh, I can't make things myself
Plastic?
because school told me I have to follow the
Shells.
instructions. Well, I don't know.
Wood.
Something. Make them out of use.
What type of rope do you use in your concrete support?
Polypropylene, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Don't use polyester rope because it will disintegrate in the concrete. And as far as if I remember correctly, but like double check this if you have the internet, which you obviously do because you're thinking, if you're going to do this, just double check what I'm saying. But if I remember correctly, polypropylene rope is fine in concrete, and so is nylon, I think. Vinyl is also okay. But I mean, it's pretty easy to look that all up. And I looked that up before I did my house. And I'm pretty sure I used polypropylene.
As opposed to?
Polyester rope. Polyester rope, no good with the concrete, which is also why I can't just like coat something in fiberglass.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I do epoxy, which
Right.
costs like 10 times more than polyester resin.
Right.
But polyester rope is stronger than polypropylene rope, but you can't use it in the concrete. And it's a good thing I knew that because I had some nice polyester rope
Which you can use.
that I was like, oh, this would be great. And I was like, oh wait, no.
No.
It's a good thing someone said something to me about that. And then I looked it up and was like, yeah.
I would like to take the moment to mention, guys, please only use question or question marks for actual questions, not just to get my attention or comments.
That's terrible. That's
Don't do
bad
that.
honor. That's terrible honor. Oh,
Okay,
dishonorable. No, that's some adventure builder
Joseph
dishonor right there.
Blowmeister would
Hey,
like
Joe
to know
Blow.
what kind of fish do you catch and how do they taste?
They taste like fishes, which is pretty good.
No, there was a weird fish we caught the other day. It was only one of them, and I cooked it, and it totally tasted weird. I actually didn't like it at all. I gave it to the chickens.
Okay.
Compared to like the other ones we've had. I don't know what it was.
Well,
It was
mostly
terrible.
we get like, what are those things called?
The red
Snappers.
snappers and these like grunt fish
Yeah, snappers and grunts.
and some other white fish that I can't remember now what
My
it's called.
favorite one is the Spanish mackerel. Barracuda's all right. Barracuda's just kind of skinny. I mean, you can get a nice big fat barracuda, but
Oh, Joe has mentioned, not Joseph Blowmeister, but Joe, our other Joe, once says the reason they
what
make
Joe
them
is
out
that?
of Joe Camel.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, Joe Campbell's here. Cool.
Yeah, he's here.
Is he always here?
Sometimes he is.
Oh.
The reason they make them out of steel is so that when you lose one, they will rust out and no longer pose a danger to the fish. And it
Yeah.
says, think of all the lakes and ponds with hooks.
Yeah, that's true.
The
That totally makes sense.
Bottom feeding fish.
Yeah, I guess I better not make a titanium fishing hook because then I could destroy the world. Oh, can you imagine if the whole world disintegrated
Oh, Jaimie,
and then
stop being so melodramatic.
and then some aliens came along and they're like tracking down what the source of this problem was, and then finally they found a titanium hook in the bottom of the ocean. And they're like, some idiot just had to do it himself.
What? Wait, let's see. There was a question. Hold on. I'll find it.
What I was doing for a while is I was fishing with my hooks and then I'd put them in a thing of fresh water.
Was that working?
Yeah, it made them last longer,
But they still eventually rust.
yeah, faster than I would have liked.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, I didn't announce what we're doing today.
Oh,
This is the Jaimo show. The Jaimo show. If you have any questions,
are you gonna make any fancy like
make
gang
some
signs
hey,
for your show?
hey. If you have any questions, some comments, and if you have a question, write question in capital letters at the beginning of your question so we know it's a question, so it's easy to find, eh?
You can also write statements, and then that will mean that you're making a statement. But please don't use question unless you actually have a question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's dishonor
And
to
in the
lie like that.
description, there is the email. And so,
Oh yeah, we have email. Well, I have email.
well, I check it.
Yeah, you check it. Yeah, I mean, I check it too. But email's down there.
Yeah, it is down there.
I usually only say that if someone like needs to email me for something.
Right.
Oh, but my shirts.
Yeah, your shirts.
Someone asked
They're on
last
the
week.
They're in the shop.
Someone asked last week if these shirts would be available, and I didn't know at the time. When you watch my commercial, which you're going to upload after, you'll see basically what happened.
Yeah.
Roughly, almost exactly. But yeah, I made a picture of this on the computer and then
Right.
cleaned it up and stuff. And,
Yeah.
and
Really good.
and those are in the description if anyone wants that.
I couldn't get it all the way to the edges, but I did the best I could.
Oh no! Well, this yeah. Whenever I do mine, like I'll put a giant adventure builder symbol sometimes that like wraps around the side.
As large as it would allow me to make.
Yeah,
them.
I get that.
Except for on one of the girl ones, I thought it looked better small. So.
Oh, right. You can judge the girl stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
Do I sell any?
And I did do one long sleeve with the littler symbol up on the right side because like one of your people likes your shirts and he can only wear those to work. So, so I did make one of those.
Does anybody buy the girl shirts?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Girl shirts.
Oh, cool.
I don't know which ones I'd have to look.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but there are girl shirts.
Yeah.
And hoodies.
It's probably a dude who's like, yeah, I like the V-neck because it shows my muscles.
There's a large variety of things, though.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right. Braca would like to know, how do you approach holidays with your children?
I don't really think about it. I don't really do anything.
They expanded, but like holidays.
You know what usually happens? Well, you do stuff, but I usually don't plan or do anything. And then the kids, they start decorating the house with like happy birthdays and stuff, and like there's happy birthday up right there and right there because whose birthday was?
3 birthdays in a row.
Yeah,
June and July.
Yeah, and there's all these streamers hanging from the ceiling. It's kind of funny. And I'll usually just like for a birthday, I'll often Carcanon's last birthday, I made him a dump truck.
And an excavator.
And the excavator came a couple weeks later because he was like, I really like an excavator too, to put stuff in the dump truck. And then you made
him something more recently to go with that, didn't you?
Yeah, for the most part, when I make stuff for my kids, it's not specifically for a holiday or anything. I just make stuff and just give it to them. Mm-hmm. So
I would say we generally don't celebrate holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like decorate for them sometimes, but generally speaking, every day is celebrated.
Yeah, I try to make every day pretty awesome, but it's not like we don't notice Christmas.
I mean, I don't generally unless I'm really paying attention.
No, but Aurora
yeah.
will be like, hey, it's Christmas, and it's like, yay, and that's hey, let's make tasty dinner.
I think we did something for Valentine's Day one year. I don't think it was this year.
Yeah, we don't make it. The answer to the question is we don't make a big deal about holidays.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway.
But it is an excuse to have a good day.
Right. User to go would like to say, do you realize what the Hoffman lenses symbolize? Have you tried it?
Do the Hoffman lenses symbolize some sort of drug?
I don't even know what
LSD or something.
We're talking about.
I mean, I know what they symbolize to me.
Okay, wait.
Which is
what
has
are we
nothing.
Talking about?
Okay, sorry. In They Live, when the guy finds the glasses that lets him see the aliens, because there's a bunch of humans, and when you put the glasses on, suddenly you can see they're not actually humans. They're actually and Roddy Piper is hilarious in that movie. I love him in that movie.
He's the wrestler guy, right?
He was the wrestler. He died.
Yeah.
But he just seemed like a really awesome guy in general.
Right.
Like a super nice dude. Anyway, he put on the glasses, and the glasses let him see the aliens for what they were, and let him see all the subliminal messages everywhere. And to me, that just represents my. Can I say the SH word?
It's your channel.
We swear on this sometimes, right? My bullshit detector. That's just a bullshit detector. And when I have my bullshit detector on, when I look at people, I'm looking past all their they're bullshit. I'm looking at what they really are. And when I see a TV commercial, I don't see it as like, here's some great product that people have made and they're trying to make my life better. I see it as the reason they have this commercial is to try to convince me to get something that I don't want or need, because if I wanted or needed it, I would go looking for the thing. But they're just trying to like, manipulate me into giving them money.
Right.
So that's what it represents to me. But I don't know, maybe he'll say it's like a specific thing.
Right.
But this is part of what I was saying before, like regardless of what the official thing is, I'm going to think what it is to me.
Right.
Because I think for myself.
Do you think for yourself?
Sometimes. Last Thursday, I was like, I'm going to think for myself right now.
You have to put that out in the schedule.
I'm going to put that in the schedule. Think for myself. Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Practice thinking for yourself.
No, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to practice. I'm going to go jump in head first.
Aaron Paris would like to know, are you planning on adding any rain catchment from the roof?
That's where I get my water right now, actually.
Do you want to explain how that works?
Well, presuming people have seen my roof videos, there's my roof, like the big dome, and then there's this ledge that goes all the way around. The ledge is like this wide. It has a little lip, which makes a gutter. And the water runs down the gutter. And at one point, there's a break in the lip. It's not broken, it's just like a missing spot. And the water goes down this little channel into a tube that goes into my water collector. So the rain off roughly a third of my house, which is a pretty big area, goes into my water collector. And then the other 2/3 kind of go out to like a spout at the front of the house, which just squirts out, fills up some buckets.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the whole house because there was a mango tree on the other side. And I didn't want, like, mango is related to poison ivy, which I found out after burning some mango roots and feeling terrible for like a week. And then finally Dashaina was like, maybe it's the mango. Anyway.
Did I say it just like that too?
Yeah, it's just like that. Don't burn mango leaves, branches, roots, anything, because you'll get that poison ivy stuff. It's a lot milder than actual poison ivy. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I didn't want the water from that getting into my water because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to kill myself. But also my building in general slightly slopes forward, so drainage would always go forward, so that my pathway around the back of my house, it drains out to the front. Mm-hmm. And so the gutter, the water collection for my water tank, it collects from toward the front of the house on one side. So it gets about a third of the roof. It gets a lot of water.
Captain Chip would like to know...
Oh, while I'm doing my roof though, if I'm working on that side, I turn off the water collector, or actually open a valve that lets it just fall right through instead of going into my water tank.
And then you rinse it?
Because I don't want to get soap or, the algae I'm scrubbing off the building, or all the sand, any concrete stuff. I don't want that to go in my water tank, so I turn it off.
Right.
And then I wait for it to rain sufficiently that I think, all right, everything's rinsed out, and then I'll...
Do you ever forget to turn it back on?
No, not really.
Okay.
The other day, it started raining. It was raining so hard, and it was nighttime. It wasn't like I wasn't sleeping yet or anything, but it was like, night. And it was pouring out, and I was like, oh, I should close the water thing. So I just went out in the pouring rain, but I took all my clothes off so I wouldn't get them wet. Which answers the question from the other week. Do I run around my island naked? And yes. It's pouring rain.
Arms.
Yeah. I went out waving everything around, and then turned off the valve, and then ran back in. And then ran around my house to shake off all the water.
Awesome. Yeah. Captain Chip would like to know,
Captain Chip.
Do you think you could build a swimming island?
I don't know what that is. Yeah. Like an island that swims? Like a giant swimming robot?
Maybe like
that's
a giant
so...
swimming pool.
No, a swimming island. Maybe an island that's swimming. Like it would have to be, well, this is probably not what he meant at all. But I do have this idea that I would like to do at some point, and I've talked about this even before we moved here.
Right.
But it's evolved a little. But to build like this giant turtle, like basically as big as my house, like a huge turtle. Like the shell would be a big dome, and then it's got like probably like 6 legs coming out of it. Maybe I'd even make more legs, at least 6 legs, if it's going to be a giant robotic turtle that could walk around on the land and go right into the water and paddle along. That would be a swimming island.
I think he means like.
That would be amazing. Like I kind of have to do that at some point.
I think he means kind of like an island that is like floating, and like you want to go swimming, and like you want to have a platform.
A swimming island.
But whatever.
Oh,
Sometimes I'd like to just ask you the question, see where you're gonna go with it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying now. Just like a floaty raft that's anchored out.
Yeah. Like a swim platform.
Yeah, swim platform. Yeah. Not a swimming island. Yeah. I kind of want to make one of those at my house, but I don't want it to attract people. Right. So I want to do it where I can retract it and put it out. Because I don't want like not that people come out here all the time or anything, especially now with the gas prices ridiculous. It's kind of nice. There's like no traffic at all.
Yeah.
People still play their music too loud, but whatever.
Well, we're working on that. Are you going to add a water collection lip to the roof of the guest house?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I was gonna put a water tank up there too.
I mean, would you say that it's safe to say that you're probably going to put a water collection lip connector thing to any kind of domicile that you build?
Not necessarily, but probably, yeah, basically. Well, any domicile. I mean, probably any workshop too. But I won't have it collect into the same water tank. I'll give it its own water tank. And I would do that because then if for some reason my main water either runs out because some kid leaves the thing on or a pipe breaks or whatever, then I have a backup. So I'm like, you have a couple different water tanks here, which is nice because if one thing runs out, you still have the other thing, right?
Right.
And I would like to have that, even if I almost never use the other one.
Right.
It's nice to know that, if I have a problem here, I have a second water thing.
Yeah, because right now you only have one.
Right now I have one water thing and it's never had a problem, but if it has a problem, then I don't have a backup. My backup is like...
not existent right now.
Well, it's go to the jungle and carry water from the stream.
Or call Dashaina.
Or come to your house and be like, do you have water? And you can be like, no.
Get your own fucking water.
I've got... The truth comes out. I've got animals and...
No, it's true. I mean, I do have so many things that use water.
Yeah, I know.
I would give you water, though, of course.
Dude, I could just go to the jungle and...
We have enough water.
Right now you have enough water, but what if it hasn't rained in like a month?
I have another water tank. I'm going to start filling it up soon.
Oh, your third water tank that's not doing anything yet.
I have.
But it will.
It will.
Yeah.
I did swear it was an accident.
You swear the F word. That's the biggest.
Because it was like jokingly. I didn't mean it. Like,
no, that's how you talk to me.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Not usually.
Once
in a while, though.
Do. All right. So.
I'm just gonna rearrange my butt while you're swearing. What's going on? What do you got?
Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna fall asleep while you're...
What was the movie that we were talking about? Somebody was asking.
They Live?
Okay.
Oh yeah, They Live. I totally recommend this movie. It's a really good movie. It's got Roddy Piper in it.
Have you...
And it's got David Keith, or Keith David. I always get his name mixed up. Keith David, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever...
And that lady with like the purple eyes. I forget her name. Doesn't matter.
Have you ever tried making something using PVC for the framing and then filling the PVC pipes with styrocrete to add rigidity?
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
Have you considered that?
Yeah.
Why would or...
Well, I need a specific...
Well, this person, for example, built some storage sheds using PVC pipe for the framing and then filled the PVC pipes with styrocrete to add rigidity.
Cool.
And they wanted to know, is this something you have ever tried?
Well, I think in that case, I would just use a styrocrete.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think either thing is fine.
Oh, apparently today is Joe Camel's birthday.
Oh, Joe Camel, happy birthday. Oh, so this is what we do whenever there's a birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
That's what we do on holidays.
That's what we do on holidays. All right, let's see. There were some other questions, but they were in different videos, so hold on, I have to...
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
You know my eyes?
Yeah.
Do I have dark circles under my eyes right now?
I don't know. No.
Well, does it look like it? In my thing?
No.
Look all right?
So.
I'm pretty sure it's my hat.
Yeah, I told you that.
Because oh, did you? Because like oh wait, no, you can't really tell
yeah,
here.
I told you.
But like I put my hat on,
and the hat's on,
and it's like it makes a shadow right here.
Yeah.
Because like my nose sticks out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get there, but it's like right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I told you it's better to have light.
So I should take my hat off when I'm inside, or I could just not care.
Coming on your face, like shining on your face.
I don't know if I want anyone.
Oh, jeez. Can we not do this today? Anyway. All right, moving along.
I'm just not gonna care. I can go around with dark raccoon eyes like a zombie.
Anyway.
I'm dying.
It just happened.
Dying because I'm a zombie. I'm just tired.
So there was another
tired.
question, and I'm trying to find it now.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find the other question, which is in your...
I think it's funny how everything I do is delayed by like half a second. So I looked over and then I saw myself look over.
Here we go.
Oh, you got a question?
There was another question. I'm taking some of them from like the videos. So
what videos went up this week?
The Storm Rush and sourdough. I was right. Sourdough went up. See, I said that. I wasn't sure.
I didn't even make coconut sourdough that day. I don't think because I didn't have a coconut. But I really like to make coconut sourdough. It's my favorite.
Bob Robert
would
like to know, does your building need a lightning rod?
Well, it's not the tallest thing around.
That mango tree is higher, isn't it?
Oh, the mango tree is way higher. Yeah, I mean, there's the mango tree's on the hill, like almost like it's not the top of the hill, but it's pretty high up. But then there's also like a coconut tree beside my house that's taller.
Yeah.
And another one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a bad idea. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say it needs it, but I kind of want to put a tower at the top of the hill behind my house, and I'd probably make that out of metal so that any lightning that comes down would hit that, and just make sure I'm not on it.
Yeah.
And it would be like a lookout tower, so you can climb up it and look around.
And don't climb on it when there's a lightning.
There's lightning storms. Get off it.
Yeah. Have you thought, Bill Rees would like to know, have you thought about building a shaker table to sift sand? You could power it with a bike crank. Also, would it benefit to grow rubber trees? I don't think it's going to be worth all that stuff to sift the sand. I think it's easier to just dry it out. Because like I gotta have like space. It's going to make this huge thing. And right now, I just have a little thing. Like I'm gonna have to build like a whole other building to have a shaker, or just take up my like one of the sections in my building. So no. Yeah, I think my last load of sand, I made sure I got it when it was fairly dry, and it's sifting much more easily now. But the thing is, like even if I made a shaker thing, when the sand is wet, it just ends up filling the holes. So I have to like pick up the thing and tap it and shake it. But I guess I could make a thing that like bangs on the side of it. It's just not worth it. Yeah. Mr. Landfill in your video wanted to share that they have a roofing company near them that uses dragon scales. They're called Sheriff Goslin Roofing.
Where are they getting these dragon scales?
I don't.
Wait, what does he mean by they use dragon scales? Like they're doing the same thing I'm doing, or they use that as a brand name?
Mr. Landfill, since you're here on the live, would you like to expand on your comment in the video from Wednesday?
Yeah, what are their dragon scales?
Let's see. I think that was all the questions.
If they're doing the same thing I'm doing, it would be cool to know what they're using.
Right.
because they've probably done more experimentation with it.
Right.
Although they could just be like using normal shingles and they call them dragon scales or something.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Let's see. Oh, he says they make them and they are similar to yours
What do they make them out of?
in shape.
In shape, not necessarily material. What are they made out of?
And I'm waiting for him to say they are tar-based shingle.
Oh, well, that's just like, yeah, that's like normal shingles then.
Joseph Flowmeister would like to know if you've considered building a wood-fired pizza bread oven.
Oh, yeah, I definitely want to do that. Are you
Almost said
kidding?
the F word. I heard it.
Oh. No, I was just saying, oh, fuzz, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to, that's something I definitely want to do. Build a pizza oven.
Definitely.
I might do that. Yeah, definitely. I kind of want to do it making my own bricks out of clay or something. What? She was looking at me before I actually did it. All right. Pull your button off. Yeah, I would definitely want to make a pizza brick oven for bread and pizza and whatever.
Okay.
And I want to make it with stuff on my island. Although, I mean, if I come across some convenient or cheap, like surplus bricks or something, I'll probably just make it out of that. But
Mr. Landfield says the diamond shape is what they swear by.
oh, I do like the diamond shape, yeah. Well, it saves a lot of material. Because if you have like rectangles, you have the seam between the rectangles that you have to overlap a lot. Because you can't just overlap them like that, you have space. Anyway, if you have the diamond shape, you can overlap. It just makes your overlaps a lot more sensible. Yeah.
And it's all about being sensible.
Well, it's more efficient. That's the word. More efficient. I'm having bad vocabulary today. I have not been.
You're having bad vocabulary.
Yeah, I'm having bad vocabulary. I haven't been talking that much in a while.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was because we had a long discussion the other day and I just ran out of words. Yeah. We had a long talk the other day. I mean, hey, you're not supposed to take anything I say during these seriously.
Didn't.
Well, good. Carry on. What do we got here?
Hold on. I was looking to see what else might have been in this.
Well, someone must have something to say about sourdough.
Oh yeah, I just didn't get into that one yet.
Oh yeah.
I was just double checking that I got all the ones in this one.
Oh, you don't get all of them. Maybe there's
apparently you're making a lot of people nervous.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so
I don't know.
You want to address your safety?
Okay, so I have a rope attached to the top of the building. It's very securely attached. It goes up and inside and connects to the steel frame. So the rope's not going to come down. And I have the rope tied in a loop, which I usually wrap around, like double around my wrist so that it won't come loose. Like I have to actually kind of like, manually take it off. And that won't let me get to the edge of the roof. Like if something fell or something, that would stop me before I actually got to the point I was falling, Okay. So, I mean, I couldn't like lean out. It would catch me before that. If everything broke, I would still be like laying on the side of the roof with this thing, with my feet on the gutter, whatever you call it. Yeah, the gutter. I think the worst thing, I mean, it would probably not feel very good on my wrist.
But you'd be alive.
And if I just like totally like fell face first, I'd like scrape down the side of the concrete, but it won't let me fall off the edge.
Awesome.
I mean, the only dangerous part, it's still kind of dangerous, but like, and I put that on before I climb up to the top step.
Right.
But like for the most part, like when I'm walking around the edge, I don't take my camera up there very often. And if I do, I'll just video something and take my camera back in. I make sure I'm totally focused on what I'm doing. And I also put my hand on the building to kind of steady myself. It kind of helps your balance a little bit if you're touching something solid, which I don't need to do, but I definitely don't want to lose my balance up there at all. So I don't know. It's dangerous working up on a roof that's a couple stories up.
Yeah.
But
it sounds like you've taken all the necessary precautions.
I'm taking a reasonable amount of precautions.
Yeah.
And on half of the building, there's a space, but then there's land not too far down. And I have jumped off the edge of the roof of the building to that land. It's not that far. So if I fell over there, all I have to do is jump and I can land. But at the front, it's like 2.5 stories down. Because there's the concrete and then it drops. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on NFTs?
NFTs, no effing terms. Well, when there are no effing terms, I mean, you never know what you're getting into. So,
have you considered making any yourself?
What are NFTs?
They're those crypto, So you take an image. I may not be explaining this correctly.
Oh, this is the thing where you make an image and people can buy them or something, and it's like a one of a kind. Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like half the point of a computer image is that it's easily reproducible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of
it was a suggestion that you should learn how to make them, and then it could be a source of income.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not getting it yet.
I don't think it's.
But it seems
I've looked into it.
It seems like a thing that doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't think it'll follow your general principles of life.
Yeah.
Participating in it. So.
But I also haven't. I mean, I don't know.
Have you done any experimentation with wood gasification?
No, I've not. Although I do have the manual that was printed during the Depression or something that details exactly how to do it. But I don't have any gas motors anyway, except for my chainsaw. But I'm not going to carry around a gasifier with my chainsaw.
Hey, sweet girl.
If I had a truck or something, I could put it on. But
do you add anything other than coconut to your bread?
Yes, flour. You mean other than bread itself?
I think it means
usually I just make coconut. However,
come down.
Well, I always make sourdough bread now, and I did try making.
Hi, sweet girl.
I did try making cinnamon raisin sourdough bread, but it didn't rise. I think the cinnamon interfered with the reaction, and so before I was making the sourdough bread, I would make a lot of different flavors. So cinnamon raisin. Sometimes I'd make garlic, but I haven't tried that with the sourdough because I think the garlic's going to prevent the sourdough from reacting, doing its thing. So the coconut seems to work well, and I have coconuts, for free, fresh off the tree.
Fun.
And it's my favorite way to eat coconut now is in some sourdough bread. So I usually make coconut bread. Unless I don't have any coconuts, then I just make plain nothing. Oh, I was about to take the thing. Dashaina just moved a baby.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I like when other conversations pop in.
What kind of bait do you put in the trap for fish?
Nothing. I just hope they go in there.
And with that?
Maybe we should try some bait. I have tried a couple times bait, where I took a head of a fish we ate previously and then put it in. But that was when I was living in the houseboat, so I was there more often. Now the fish trap's at your house, and I'm usually at my house, so I don't pay attention to it as much.
Hi, sweet girl.
But yeah, maybe when I get a fish trap at my house, I'll start paying attention to it a little more. It does work with no bait. Mm-hmm. But probably if I put a fish head in there or whatever.
I used anti-aging cream.
Wow, that stuff is amazing.
Yeah, it's Revlon.
It bleached your hair too. It's Revlon.
Funny.
All right.
You know what's hilarious about 2-year-olds? You tell them things like chew with your mouth closed, and she goes like this.
Oh, we're not doing that right now.
And then I'm like, that's your eyes. Anyway.
I don't. Jaimie, your new house on septic.
That's
I think it's supposed to say, is your new house on septic?
I have a, what's it called? I have a digester thing that makes methane, although I haven't used the methane for anything. I don't know, what does it mean? Is it on septic?
I don't know.
I'm not on any city connection thing. I mean, I've got my own
Oh, look, you go see your dad.
stuff waste processing unit, which basically consists of a big container in the ground with a second container with an overflow, and that gets like, what's it called? Plant fertilizer in it, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, those you might have to kick these kids downstairs.
Or could you come up for can you guys go downstairs just for like a few more minutes? We're gonna wrap up soon.
Wrap up soon.
Yeah, I think we'll be done in a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm starting to get hungry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you can. I'm gonna look at this then.
But there's nothing really going on in terms of questions right now. So.
Oh, how do you just make them show? Oh, cripes! I don't know how to do this. How do you make the chat show on here?
You click the little chat button.
This?
Yeah.
And then which of those options?
You select live chat.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
Okay.
NFTs are just a waste of time, and someone can just make one pixel another color and have the same thing more or less.
All right, I'm going downstairs.
Oh, you just leaving?
Well, I have to go sort the bread out.
Oh, you're making bread? What kind of bread?
Regular bread.
NFTs don't make any sense to Joseph Blomeister.
What?
NFTs. Oh, wait. Will Darling says NFTs are nuclear-fueled turtles. I don't know if I'd want nuclear-fueled turtle unless it's flying in outer space. Like, then I would be like, yeah, I want nuclear-fueled turtle. I think if the turtle's just hanging out on the land, I would want it solar-powered because I don't want to have to get fuel. Man, not having to get fuel is amazing. It's so nice, like having a boat that runs on solar power and human power. And yes, you know, I have to fuel myself to pedal my boat. But, you know, the exercise is good for me. I want to do the exercise anyway, and I still need to eat. So it's cool to turn that exercise into some kind of useful thing. Nuclear-fueled turtle. Okay, my... Joseph, yes, I'm going to stay for a little bit. Because I usually try to stay at least half an hour or 2 hours. Okay, he meant, do I have a septic system? If your new house has a toilet waste system. Yeah, I think I just explained it. You know, it's like a methane producing and a thing that I haven't tried to use the methane from it yet, but it produces plant fertilizer, which I put on some of my plants sometimes, which seems to work. But I don't know, I'm a little nervous about using it. I don't want to dump a bunch of like this like digested poop food stuff water on my plants and have it too high concentration and kill them or something. So I don't really know what I'm doing with that, but it seems to be working. And yeah, I have no problems with septic systems, and my septic system is working well. Okay, with an NFT, can't you just like screen capture your thing? Does it not work with that? But I don't know. What is the point of an NFT? It's just some money-making scheme, right? Hi, kids. Yes, this one is Bellatrix. This is the goofiest one. She's my snuggle kid. She loves to snuggle, as you can see.
I'm 10.
You're 10? Yeah. If you consider building, oh yeah. Don't feed the worry trolls. Oh yeah. Well, the worry trolls. I explained my safetiness and then that's it. Oh, William Glasser says about the septic system. No, they have squatted toilets and stuff. Well, I do have a squat toilet, but the water goes down. It works like a toilet, just like on the ground that you stand on.
Jaimie, William Glasser is Joe Camel.
Oh, William Glasser is Joe Camel?
Yeah.
Hi, Joe Camel. I didn't know that. I never knew that. NFT is to proof you own an image. I don't get this NFT thing. I'm just not going to care about it or worry about it.
What?
NFT will start to make sense when AI is able to easily fake everything. Will it? I guess. I don't know. Maybe I don't even really know what NFTs are, I guess. What does NFT stand for anyway?
Non-fungible
Oh,
token.
non-fungible token, right. Oh, how is progress on the dragon scales going? Well, I got up to the fourth layer, and I've only done one tile on the fourth layer just to test. And I started making the fourth layer tiles smaller, so they should go a lot faster once I do them. But I'm only doing the tiles on days when I have good weather for it. So sunny days, it just takes so long to do them because I have to keep pouring water on them to keep them wet, and then I'm covering them with plastic to keep them from drying out in the sun, and the plastic blows from the wind. It goes so much faster when I have a cloudy day. So I'm usually only doing them on cloudy days now. And although I was thinking maybe I should just start doing them every evening between like 5 and 6, just do like an hour every day, and the sun will be low enough that it's not drying them out. I should be able to just do them and not have to keep going back. It should go a lot faster. I just won't get a ton done per day, but just spend an hour every day doing it, and they should go pretty quick. But it's going very well. I mean, they look great. I'm not getting any drips. What are you doing to me? I'm not getting any drips where the scales are. Question: have you done any experiments with small steam engines? I built one for a weed eater. Oh, nice. I use it to top off the batteries that run my workshop. That is awesome. I would love to see that, because I haven't made a steam engine. Well, I mean, I've made like a really just like a turbine one, like years and years ago. It was just kind of a playing around thing. I didn't even make it do anything good. But I do want to make a steam engine at some point. I think that would be super cool. I'd like to run a boat off a steam engine. I think that would be really fun to make and to use. So Paintball Preserve, if you wanted to email a picture of your steam engine or anything like that, I would totally love to see it. Whatever happened to the dredge thing you made a few years ago for clearing out the wharf on Dashaina's island? So I made this dredging machine, like this vacuum sucker thing that squirted stuff out the side. I still have it. I don't use it. I used it to clean out some of the canal at my house. The problem with it is that, one, it's not as fast as me just doing it. And the main reason for that is that it doesn't just suck up solids. Like, it has to suck up a lot of water too at the same time. But, it's nice because I don't have to get on the water. I can just stand on the back of the boat, aim this thing, and then it squirts it where I want it to go. But because it has so much water in it, it's not just like it goes and dumps and makes land. Like, it runs, and some of it runs back in, and so I haven't been using it because I would rather use a scoop that I can just get solids with, dump it on the land, and then it actually raises the land a little bit, because ocean level's going up a bit, right? What's it, like a centimeter every year or something? Or I think it's less than that, but like somewhere around a 7 centimeter every year, the ocean level goes up. Don't quote me on that, but something like that. So whenever I clean out my canal, I want to get as dry stuff as possible so I can put it on the land and it'll stay there and actually kind of stay ahead of the water rising. Except for rust, are any of the direct drive chainless bicycle applicable in pedal boats? I think your PVC bearings are superior, except for rust, or any of the direct drive chainless. So the direct drive chainless things, is that the ones where it's basically a shaft that's kind of geared to the main thing and then geared at the back again? I mean, that wouldn't, I don't know. I mean, it would be useful if it was made out of all plastic, I guess. I mean, that is basically what I have in one of my boats, in the zombie chopper, my little white boat. I have pedals, and this part's all stainless steel, and it's got a big gear that turns a little gear that turns a shaft that goes out to a propeller. And that's useful. It's all stainless steel, and then the bearing that's in the water is these plastic rollers that I made, and they seem to work really well. But yeah, the reason I haven't gotten into any bicycle parts, used any bicycle parts, is just the rust. And maybe there's some stainless bicycle parts out there that I could use, but I don't know. They sound like they'd be really expensive. I remember when you started clearing the channel at Dashaina's with the big metal box type thing. You had to stab through the mud, mangrove, amalgam. I do still have that thing. It's like the big cake cutter. It cuts a block out, and I can pull it out and put it places. It's just sitting beside my house. And but I can't use that to like clean out a canal that's just kind of mucky. So like when sediment starts getting into my canal, maybe in like 30 years it would be solid enough to like, cut and like pull out as a block. But right now, if I tried to scoop it out with that thing, like it would just run out the sides. So it's the kind of thing where I can take a bucket and either shove it down and like turn it sideways, and as the air rushes out, it'll suck the muck in, and then put that on the side. Or like, okay, a few times a year, the tide gets really, really low. And I did this a couple months ago. I'll use this big long spoon thing because a lot parts of the bottom will actually be exposed. I can scoop up the muck and use that. But I want to get as dry as possible, but it is still kind of liquidy, I watched a video where they made a tank to where they had a tiny pipe that pumped out steam on a turbine. This was all open and very simple. I watched a video where they made a tank. Okay, they made a steam-powered tank, basically. Yeah, that would be... I would love to get into some steam-powered stuff, because I have wood. I like... the reason I don't use gasoline is because I'm trying to not use any fuels that I can't produce myself. So, wood things like running a steam engine, I would love to do that. I don't think I'd do that all the time, but I think it would be cool to make a steam engine and make it kind of fast, so it could outrun my solar pedal boats, like by a significant amount. So then I would still use my solar pedal boats whenever, most of the time. But then if I like really want to go somewhere fast, I could, pull out my steam engine and... Or if I just have some excessive amount of wood laying around or something. You need something like a crud buster, septic tank shorts. Use it, bust up the crud. This would blend up the muck on low tide days to suck up the muck. So it's basically like a crud buster is like is that like a garbage, what's it called? A trash pump, like a garbage pump? Sounds like that kind of thing. Yeah, maybe. The thing is, when I'm sucking up the muck, I really don't want to suck up water. I want to keep it as solid as possible, so it'll stay where I put it. I'll try to email a picture of the newest chainless pump drive. It might power a conveyor belt to dredge. Oh, this would be a dredge thing, huh? Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's cool. You create a wood gas engine. Well, I mean, a wood gas engine is just a gas engine. You just make a wood gas fire. But if I'm gonna do wood, I feel like I want to take out a lot of that complication and just make a steam engine and just make it myself. Because, combustion engines, they were just real complicated. You take a lot of maintenance and, all these repairs and stuff. But I feel like I can make a steam engine that would be pretty low maintenance, very simple. And I don't need anything fancy. Like, I just need it to just go forward. I don't even need reverse. I don't even need like transmission or anything. Let's see. Your plans to build a hydrofoil boat. Well, I don't know. I've thought about it a lot. I do think it would be fun to build a hydrofoil boat, but it just hasn't gotten like important enough to warrant the complications. And part of the problem is, like, hydrofoils seem like one of those things that are amazing when all the circumstances are right. But when you don't have the perfect circumstances, oh, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, like 40 people left as soon as you did. They're like, I watched this for Dashaina. Anyway, numbers went down.
We lost like 400 people.
Anyway, like hydrofoils, like if you're in conditions like here where I won't necessarily keep everything in perfect condition all the time.
Oh my God, somebody just left because I shut up.
No, shut up. Then the hydrofoils would not work, or like, the hydrofoils will stick down, so I can't park the boat in shallow water ever. So if I'm ever trying to come up to a shore or anything, I feel like hydrofoils are one of those things that I could start playing with when I get a lot of more important things done. Although there is something I think about more than hydrofoils, which is a ground effect airplane. So it'd just be like a low flying airplane that kind of skims across the water. Oh, that would be so cool. Same thing on your boats with a propeller with a long shaft. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait. Same thing on your boats with a propeller with a long shaft is the crud buster. Oh shit! I need to back up.
It's two different things.
Okay. Yeah, but it's the same guy. Oh, guy.
I think he's responding to what you were saying while you were saying it. It's just the comment didn't come up until.
Look, Ben Hansen is here and he says, "I made it."
Yeah.
Hi, Ben.
Good. Mr. Landfill says that he can start listening again now that I've showed back up.
Oh yeah, I know. Listening to me is like just nails on a chalkboard, eh?
That's why I left.
Well, I'll use my cool voice. This is my cool voice. So, Bella. Come on, Bella. It's like the only thing I can say when I do my cool voice. Hey, Bella. That's how I pick up girls. So I'm going
that explains a lot.
I'll be in town. I'm going to town this Thursday, and I'm going to make a point of approaching at least 24 girls and just saying, "Hey, Bella." I'm not actually going to do that. Don't hold me to that.
I think you should take notes of what their responses are so that we can, talk about it next Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take my camera with me, and I'm just going to go up to girls and say, "Hey, Bella," and just record whatever they do and say, and then just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're like, "What?" Well, some of them will just leave, but other ones will like actually try to talk to me and be like, why did you say that? And then just walk away. What is your problem? Huh?
We just
dang it,
like
my numbers
5 viewers.
Yeah, what the hell? Everyone's like, oh, I'm leaving this. Oh, Dashaina's back. Well, let's go back. Yeah, well, I feel special now.
Joseph Lowmeister says you need to make that video.
Oh God. I was mildly considering making some videos about trying to find a girlfriend while living off grid. Mm-hmm. Because, well, I mean, I think they could be hilarious, but also informative. Because a lot of people ask that question, like how do you meet girls if you live out in the middle of the night?
You meet so many of them.
Well, it's not impossible. It's just, you just gotta, like anything else, you just have to do it yourself. It's not like anyone's gonna just do it for you, whatever,
You have to be an active participant.
You have to be an active participant. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you just saying yeah?
Yeah.
Give me that.
There's nothing going on.
Give me that.
Look, it's not even off. You can see when it pops up on the thing. I didn't turn it
No,
off.
there were all these questions that were there. I am special.
Yeah, you are special.
Johnny Bravo. Does Johnny Bravo do that?
I don't know.
Hey, Bravo.
Yeah.
Oh, wood gas. You didn't say this.
I thought you read that.
Wood gas makes a good focused flame for steam engine.
Oh.
Yeah, but that means I need to either store the wood gas or I'm burning the wood to get the gas and then using the gas to do the thing, or I could just burn the wood and have it complete combustion all in the same chamber. Then I'm not wasting part. Plus, I don't have to have this extra machine on the side. You know, another thing I think would be really cool that I think about sometimes is making a boat with like big fat pontoons, like big fat ones, and putting pressurized air into them and using pressurized air to run something.
Hey, Brecca says you could start a nude resort for women on your island.
I could start a nude resort for women on my island. That is true.
TK Griffin asks, is the stream you mentioned hiking to earlier for fresh water deep enough to warrant making a water wheel?
Oh, I thought I was going to say, is it deep enough for the naked ladies who are staying at my nude thing to jump in and swim? Well, we could dig it out for sure. If there are any naked ladies who need a resort, we can probably arrange that. Mm-hmm. However, a water wheel, yes. I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's a hard. It depends on the water wheel, of course. Yeah. But yeah, I could definitely get some energy out of the stream. One thing I was thinking about doing that I kind of want to do. The stream is about a 1/4 mile away from the ocean, so you got to walk way back into the jungle to get to the stream. And I want to run a ram pump up to like kind of like the highest point, and then have it run down a tube to basically to the ocean, so that there will be like water all the way down there. Maybe have a little holding tank at the top, and then there will be water as soon as you get on the land. Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm not going to do that until there's more point of it.
Right.
If we had a bunch of droughts in a row or something.
Right.
Then it would be more useful. Or if I had some buildings there or people living there or whatever, then it would be worth doing. But it's not worth doing yet.
Right. Should I do the things, or are you doing them now?
Oh, the kids use Tinder. I'm gonna have to get Tinder.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people on Tinder around here. I'm probably right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't just. It's like, how many people live within 10 miles of here? Yeah. Not enough to fill a thing on Tinder. I mean, there might be a couple people on there.
Suggestion: you could make a boat that extracts wave power from the water line.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I don't think there's not enough wave action here for one. Mm-hmm. I think it would be funny to have all kinds of like a whole bunch of little flippers that when the waves push it up, it just it makes it go. 1 foot of drop for 10 feet of lift. Oh no, I've gotten way more than 1 foot of drop for 10 feet of lift with a ram pump. Ben Hansen is saying, you can basically, with using a ram pump, get 10 times the height that you go down 1 foot and go up 10 feet. But
you want to know what I want to know?
You can get it.
It's higher than that. It's like 40 feet.
Well, we got it going up to the dome in Vermont from I think it was like it was maybe like a 1 foot drop, maybe 2 feet at the most, but it was not that much. Yeah. And the dome is like 80 feet above that, 100 feet. I mean, we got it going way up. It was just a trickle out at the top, right. But it worked.
Yeah.
Your Tinder would blow up every time a boat goes by. Yeah, I'd be like, there are people. Yeah, if I had a Tinder thing and it actually kept track of all the people on Tinder who are there, like they don't have to change their. Does it do that? Maybe it does that.
I literally know nothing about it.
Then I could sit here and watch it, and a boat would go by, and someone would be on Tinder and be like, "Oh, talk quick, before you go past."
Is it like?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that. There was something I was gonna mention, and now I can't remember what it was. How much water flow did that take to get it up there?
It was not much water flow. It was like.
Can you scroll that down so it stops popping up?
Oh, fine. Okay, so the amount of what was the water flow in the stream at the dome? It was like if you took a normal tap on, turned it on all the way, that's about how much water was coming out of that little stream.
Yeah, I remember we
Right.
timed it once with like a gallon.
Like it really wasn't much, but I had a pretty long pipe. I think I used 3 or 4 10-foot sections of steel pipe.
Right.
So it had a lot of, momentum,
A lot
pressure.
of momentum.
A lot of momentum pressure. And it would just thump, 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 thump. And yeah, it just trickled up. Yeah, it was just like
Do you
it
think
didn't just drip, but it like trickled, Did more than drip. It definitely trickled.
Do you think you could run a line to your island from the creek?
Yeah, I've actually thought about that, but I think that would be kind of ridiculous. I would run it under the ocean, then come back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be silly, but yeah, I could.
That'd be kind of
The
cool.
stream here runs definitely more than the one we had in Vermont.
Right.
Even when it's not raining or anything,
Yeah.
it runs a lot more. When it rains, it is like this raging river.
Somebody would like to know, Ben Hansen would like to know, does silicone paint
I love his songs.
stop
Hansen.
particles from sticking to hulls?
Silicone paint? I don't know. Does it? Like rubbery silicone paint?
Yeah.
Would it? I don't know. I don't think it would.
I don't think it
I think
would.
yeah, I don't think it would
I
prevent
think
them.
they'd eat right through it.
It might, but maybe they would just stick to the surface, and as you drove, it would jiggle a little bit, and they'd fall off.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, Joseph Glowmaster was saying, I was wondering how well the ram pump in Vermont worked.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, the thing ran for months. I mean, had to turn it off in the winter, obviously.
Joe said,
But we left it going for months, and it just had this pipe that came up, and I'd leave a bucket there, and like an hour and a half later, I'd come, and the bucket's full. And then like Aurora, when she was like this big, would just get in the bucket and overflow it and laugh. Although we did use a lot of water from it.
Joe said it worked, to Joseph's comment, it worked so well they got a kid out of it.
This worked so well, we got a kid out of it. Yeah. Are you leaning away from me right now?
No.
You're like avoiding.
I'm not intentionally. I told you about this the other day. It's
What?
like I want to be able to talk to you, but I'm sitting like
Oh,
too
you
close
can't
to
be.
you.
Just talk to like right here.
I know that's what I do, but
Oh.
I'm just saying. So sometimes like I sit back because I'm trying to see your face.
You're trying to stop me from looking down your shirt.
Sorry, the feed was interrupted for a moment.
Why have you been wearing this on your?
Oh, because it's.
Is it a reminder?
No, it's the only finger it fits on, and it's to remind myself to put the hair tie on my finger, because I always lose my hair ties.
No, you're just keeping your hair tie here.
No,
There's
this is
another
to
one in your
remind
hair.
me to put the hair tie.
So there's another hair tie in your hair,
Yes.
and when you take it off,
I have to remember to put it on
you
my
see your finger and say,
Oh,
"Oh,
that's where I should put
I
the
have
hair tie instead of putting it on the ground. And my left hand is smaller than my right hand.
Okay, this is making 100,000% sense.
It's okay.
Very good.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. Also, then I have 2 hair ties. When I
Well, it's
ultimately
good that
lose
you're
this
not
one.
crazy. I was worried,
Yeah. I tested it out on my right finger. They're too big because I use my right hand, I guess.
Let me see what you got here.
So,
Oh, I can't read all that.
yeah. So
You read it.
it's beyond your reading level.
Okay, just go.
It's also to remind me of something, but I'm not getting into that.
Something else, eh?
Yeah.
To not
Since you don't
scream at me?
use the shark slicer as much, anyone could put a large water tank on it for backup water. Anymore. Could you put a large water tank on it for backup water? Less trips up to the creek for concrete water.
Well, I haven't been going to the creek for concrete water. I just wait till it rains.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put a water tank on the boat because I want to use it as a boat. I mean, it could have a water tank on it as a boat, but that would be a lot of.
Since you haven't been used to it.
No, I know, but like,
You totally sounded like Marge.
if I'm no, if I'm gonna go to all the trouble to set up a water tank, I want to put it somewhere where I can leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Like not put it somewhere temporary and then move it, and I'd rather just do the actual thing.
Tree said regarding where I said run the water from the creek to your island. Said
I'm not actually going to do that. It would be
wouldn't
like
be
a
bad
mile of
idea.
pipe.
I don't know how far it is between islands, but my water line comes in 300-foot rolls.
Yeah, it's like 100 meters-ish. I mean, how far is it? Like over a kilometer anyway. No, maybe it's not over. It would be about a
no,
kilometer.
you're going from the creek. Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. It's somewhere in the order of magnitude of a kilometer.
Yeah.
So I need at least 10 rolls of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing 12, but I have not measured.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feed the kids? Are they eating down there?
I don't know if they're eating, but I put food out on the counter.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes.
I mean, I didn't feed them. What? You asked me if I fed the kids.
Sorry, I thought straight answers don't happen here. No.
Yeah. I was answering your
No,
literal,
it's a good answer. Good answer.
question.
Literal question.
Did I feed the kids? No.
You get.
Did I give the food to the kitchen?
So I didn't feed the kids. I just gave them food.
Oh,
So you just put it out and let them feed themselves.
Yeah.
Let them get the food
I let them
themselves.
get the food themselves. And I did ask them not to make a mess, but we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Is it time?
Why do you just keep stopping?
Because there's nothing. I don't have any more questions to ask you.
Oh.
That one.
How much
literally
water
just
flow
popped
did
up.
that take to get up there?
No, you already.
Yeah, I did answer
You
that.
already answered. You're behind.
I'm
I don't
behind.
know why that's not. At least I have more stuff on my screen than that.
Oh well.
So.
Well, I'm gonna go in 9 minutes anyway.
I have bread in the oven.
What kind of bread did you make?
Cloud bread.
It's the really fluffy bread.
Mhm.
You used store yeast.
Yeah.
Is it also sourdough or just store yeast? It's just like plain old white bread.
It's not plain.
Plain old cloudy white bread, like a cloud, not cloudy like it's not clear, but cloudy like fluffy.
Yeah, it's the same bread I made yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crumble bread. I mean, cloudy bread.
It doesn't
Cloud.
crumble when you use
What do you call it?
like the day that it's made.
Cloud bread.
It's not meant to be for the next day like sourdough is.
Cloud bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what Aurora calls it.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Oh, okay. Hi guys, I've been subscribed. Do you have, since the giant robot, do you have any future projects for large robots? Raven Durant would like to know.
Yes, definitely. I have a few different ideas. Well, I mean, like one thing I kind of want to do is, well, I made that video game a little while ago, and in that, you get in a robot that's like it's kind of like the giant robot that I made before, but I mean, a lot better. And you get that and drive around and blast things and stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool to make like one of those. So you can just get in and shoot some soccer balls around or something. Or maybe make it so in the event of a real zombie apocalypse, I could switch it out for something that like fires spears or something. But I think it'd be really cool to make one of those. I know I've already made a giant one of those, and I made toys of those, but that design I refined so much. I feel like it kind of deserves like one big version that I can drive around.
One big version.
One big version that's like polished, finished, which has a couple details of design that didn't get into the toy ones, that are little improvements that I could put in. But I wouldn't want to do more than that of those. But another thing I want to build is a big turtle,
A giant turtle.
at least a 6-legged turtle. And another one I've been thinking of, this turtle would.
Oh, okay.
Robotic,
Well,
giant swimming robotic turtles have 6 legs. What?
It wouldn't be a turtle then.
All right, man. But I have a bunch of other designs of walking things. When I was a kid, like my hobby was like building walking machines. And some of them were like animals and some of them were just like weird things I made up. But there's one that looks kind of like a polar bear that I really like a lot. It'd be cool to build one of those that I can drive around. But I think I'd want to make that 6-legged too. I just put an extra section in the middle. Anyway, the answer is yes. I want to build a giant robot. And I have all these all these manufacturing skills and like access to materials and just resources that it didn't have before. And I think I can make something really, really good.
Cool. Are the spider robots still for sale?
No, that's kind of a touchy story, I think.
I don't think she could do it now.
Basically, no, and no, I mean it worked out for a while. It worked out long enough that I got enough money that we can move here.
Right.
But then there was an issue, and the factory closed. None of this was my fault, but there were some bad people involved with the situation, and yeah, they're not made anymore. Oh no, they are made, but like knockoffs are made, and I'm actually kind of happy that someone is still making them.
Right.
I don't get any money from it, but if the knockoff people came to me and said, "Hey, can you get involved with this? We'll pay you your royalties," I'd be like, "Yeah, man." Or even if they were just like, "Hey, we need some more designs," I'd probably just give them just like, yeah.
Have you ever experimented any with making HHO gas?
Wait. What is HHO gas? Is it from... I don't know.
Yeah, you got me.
I can't remember. This is ringing some bells, but I can't remember. I guess not. No. Probably not. I mean, yeah. I've separated hydrogen and oxygen.
Donald Goodrick, you're going to have to expand on your question a bit.
You know what? I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to be like, oh, right, HHO gas. But yeah, my brain's coming up with nothing right now. All I can think of is like electrolysis, splitting hydrogen and oxygen. Maybe that's why my brains are not getting it.
Food?
Go get food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer like 2 more questions. You can go away. Wait, this isn't working. Why isn't this working?
It's not working. I don't know why.
Well, give me that one.
I'm not going anywhere though.
Oh.
I have to wait for the bread to be finished. You really.
Oh, you're saying you want to go, but you're still waiting for something.
I didn't say that I wanted to go. I mean, I do want to go, but the bread's not ready yet. That's what I was saying. Like
30 people just said, "Oh, I see what's going on here."
Well, 30 people just left.
Yeah. No. I'm answering 2 more questions before we go.
Oh, it's hydrogen is a mixture of hydrogen H2 and oxygen O2 gases.
Oh, okay. It's just a mixture, not chemically combined. Wait.
And apparently, Joe thinks they've seen some of the knockoffs on Alan Pan video the other day about giving snakes legs. Apparently. Oh. So yeah, so hydrogen, so H2 and O2.
Why is it called HHO then? Why isn't it HHOO? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that would just be like split water, just mixed.
Yeah. So coming back to the question, have you ever experimented?
Yes, then I have. Okay. Yeah. But I didn't do anything cool with it, like make a motor that ran off it or anything. I just lit it on fire. It was like, ooh, wow.
Raven Durant would like to know if you've ever... What are your thoughts? Have you thought about doing hydroponics?
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess part of the thing is like we have such a growy climate here. I feel like I should just grow stuff outside and grow stuff. Yeah, like if I was in a cold climate,
I would. Growy, that's great.
Yeah, grow.
It's so. Growy.
It's a word.
It's a
verb. Adjective. It's an adjective.
It's an adjective.
Oh, I just get adjective and verb mixed up because adjective, action. Why is verb the action word and adjective is the description?
Because you vroom.
But like if we were in a place where I had to grow things inside, I might do more hydroponically. Mm-hmm. Although tomatoes don't grow here well. If I can't get tomatoes to grow outside, I may grow tomatoes inside hydroponically. But then I'm gonna have to learn some stuff. Because I want to set it up so it's basically set up and takes care of itself. You know, like fish poop.
Right.
Feed the plants, and then the plants feed the fish or something, you know.
Right. I need a nap.
Yeah, what's the last question?
Oh,
before we take
question. Windmill?
Yeah, I do want to build a windmill, actually. I would like to put a windmill. So
Okay, I just want to say something.
yeah.
So this person who asked that question somehow, I guess, must have has been on YouTube for a very long time because their handle is Jonathan.
Who's the first Jonathan on
The
YouTube?
first Jonathan on
Whoa.
YouTube. That's pretty cool.
Well, check it out. I'm the first Jaimie Mansell.
Yeah.
Actually, I was wondering the other day,
Mhm.
how many people have been making videos on YouTube as long as I have?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I was there almost at the beginning. That's a long time to just keep making videos. There's this dude, Nathan Barnett. He's been around for a long time. I know that.
Right.
Not that I keep track of him or anything, but he's probably still on there.
Somebody did mention, and they just re-mentioned it in this, and that reminded me, nature validates. You can graft tomatoes on potato plants. It's the same family.
On sweet potato plants.
On potato.
Okay, you can't do. Well, I knew that, but I want to know if you can do sweet potatoes
That's a
because.
totally different family.
Well, the thing is, potatoes and tomatoes also don't grow here. So,
Right.
how does that help me
It
at all?
doesn't help at all.
All right. What else can I graft tomatoes onto?
I don't know.
If I could graft them onto mangroves, that would be amazing.
Tree believes that aquaponics are not worth the effort in times of production, in my opinion, after much experimentation. It's okay as a means of filtering fish waste in recirculated water, though.
All right. So it may not be worth it. Here's a question. Is there any food that will graft onto a mangrove? Does anyone have the answer to that? Because that would be an amazing thing. Because we have tons of mangroves.
Okay, so this is a statement. TK Griffin says, this is the first live chat I've managed to catch from the beginning.
You got it from the beginning? You're still here? What is wrong with you, man? I mean, congratulations. Sorry.
Jonathan says, Tomango.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Toe, where's Tomater?
Where is Tomatoes? Is he
This
dead?
is the second one he's not been in.
I know, he's been here like every week, and
I'm
then
gonna
like
send him another message.
2 weeks in a row, he's just. You sent him a message? He didn't answer it?
I'm gonna check and see.
Now I'm worried.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to figure
I hope
that out.
Tomatoes is all right.
Yeah.
He's got all that rust.
All right, so lunchtime?
Yeah, let's go have lunch.
Okay, great.
All right, great.
Keep
Great.
it real, guys.
Mr. Guy, who's been here from the beginning, you made it to the end. You know when you just got up, everyone saw it on your shirt, and some people wouldn't notice that, but every guy was like, that was a good shot right there.
Thank you for noticing that on live.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, because I don't already